What up, guys? I am not going to dilly-dally on the intro here, and I'm just going to jump right into the stuff I want to talk about. Namely, starting off with those Pisces tidbits, the juicy little details that I missed or had to skip in the original video. The first thing I want to talk about are the components, which I hadn't mentioned at the end of the last video when I was talking about constructing the Cybermatrix. I focused on the power supply and the engine more than anything else, but there were some other oddities in there. For example, the NAND being so prominent, sort of showing that Pisces probably knows software and electronics better than I do, but still has a pretty basic understanding of how they all really work together. All of these expensive, advanced, basically sci-fi components, and then a NAND, which stands for a NOT AND gate, which is just a very simple bit of electronics that checks if all the inputs are true and puts out a false output if all of them are, and otherwise it puts out true. This was also right there next to an EEPROM, which is basically a read-only memory chip, and again, not an expert on this, but that's also not something all that impressive on its own, and is also something very small and very cheap to acquire. That said, assuming these things are to scale in the drawings, you can sort of get a feel for how big Sean imagined the quantum turbine engine to be. Now, people looking at this stuff were all quick to point out of how the pricing doesn't make sense, because you have all these cheap dollar store components, but also some insane ones like the power pods and the engine that could cost astronomical sums. So the goals on the project seemed like too much for Pisces to work with, and not enough to actually get anything done. But keep in mind, while he sometimes strayed from this in the comments, the general idea was in fact for him to raise the money for a patent. The goal being around 15k in total makes sense for that, since that's about how much you should expect that would cost you. In the comments to one of his current uploads, he actually says that making the Cybermatrix itself would cost like billions of dollars. So it's uncertain if he thinks it's possible anymore. Another tidbit that I opted to talk about a little bit less, or a lot less in the video, was Team Pisces Emissary Adventures. The whole Team Pisces thing is fascinating, but I'll just go through every sort of standout aspect to me in order. These projects have attached videos to them, same format as the Cybermatrix ones, but talking about the Pisces stuff. Also, he's not wearing pants. It's not pretty. The plot is insane, and the mix of the stuff I mentioned from the Knights Templar fish lore in the Cybermatrix video and some other things, a major plot point revolves around returning a stolen laptop back to the main character, which is Pisces' self-insert, and it makes me suspect this is based on his own personal experience with having his things taken or stolen from him. These projects aren't meant for actually funding a book or a cartoon or anything like that. The book is already made, and in these projects, he's selling the books in order to, again, fund the Cybermatrix or the patent for it. The reason I know the book was already made is that it's on Amazon. Sean has 4 books about Team Pisces and 4 about Native Americans on his Amazon author page, available both digitally and on paperback, and I really need to get my hands on paperback of one of all of these, like one or all of these. I really truly do, and all of these are self-published, of course. Amazon does give us a peek inside option, so we can see Sean's raw talent on display. I'll put a little reading of that at the end of the video. And now, question time! Do you have any plans about what you'll be covering once the pool of Kickstarter craft weirdos runs out? Also looking forward to your Gatorpoon episode. Yeah, I do have plans. Nothing set in stone, but I do have ideas. You can basically expect that I might shift topics at some point a little bit away from Kickstarter craps, but keep the format somewhat similar. There are also some more serious topics that I would like to cover. Still keeping it, sort of tongue-in-cheek, but there are things that I do want to talk about and I feel like should be talked about. But for some time, you can expect me to continue with these Kickstarter craft videos, I don't intend to shift focus just yet, but it's possible sometime next year I will be releasing some other content, but it shouldn't dip into the time I give to making these Kickstarter crap videos. What inspired you to do deep dives into Kickstarter crap subjects? It was sort of a very simple thing. I was just binging Kickstarter crap videos and bad unboxings and what have you. As you do, I'm sure a lot of you have done the same. And I found myself thinking, well, what happened to these guys? What happened to Lucic? What happened to Pisces? What happened to Caffeine? And I started digging, and I found Pisces' new channel. I found the Lucic archives, and I was like, wow, there's so much content here, but I can't really find anyone sort of going through the effort of putting it together. In fact, there was a comment under one of the archive videos on the Lucic's archive channel, and it was asking like, wow, it was like sort of thanking the creator of the channel for putting all this work in, but it's like acknowledging that there's so much information, and you know, it is hard to get through all of that, and that there's some information missing, and there's videos missing, and so on and so forth. And the channel owner mentioned that he would like to make a video that does look into all of this stuff and like concisely puts it all together, but you know, he ended up not doing it, and then Lucic disappeared for a while, and essentially the channel owner said, it sort of seems like Lucic doesn't care anymore, and doesn't give me reason to care either. And I figured, well, this is both something that is genuinely really interesting to me, this is something that is interesting to a lot of people, I think, and it's a totally untapped niche. And there are not a lot of those left on YouTube and on the internet in general, I think. So I just felt like this was something I could do, something I could contribute, and something I could start a YouTube channel with. So I did. Hey, really enjoying your work. It's so well put together that it really surprised me you aren't much bigger. With the attention to detail and how coherent your vids are, you must have some previous experience with creating content surely. Definitely here to stay for the ride. Thank you and best of luck. Well, unless you sort of count like high school video projects that I made on a free version of VideoPad, no, not really. I don't have exactly like video creating experience, but I do sort of fancy myself as a writer for one, and I am a history student, and that comes in very handy. It's a lot of data analysis and presentation. That's most of what I do as a historian, and it's most of what I do here as a YouTuber. There's a lot of overlap, and it's sort of interesting. It's not something that I could tell my sort of history professors about and have them understand what I'm doing necessarily, but I do sort of think that it's kind of like studying modern history, internet history. It's a very weird niche, and you know, there's not quite as much interest in these sort of very, very niche topics, but I do think it's still very interesting, and there's a lot of similarity in how you go about investigating these topics. What are your thoughts on post-Kickstarter crap Idubbbz? Admittedly, I do miss some of the old content. Kickstarter crap was definitely one of my favorite series at the time when it was going. I was very excited to see the Where Are They Now videos at the time, and I'm a bit sad that those aren't happening. That's part of why I'm doing these videos. I don't think Idubbbz is going back to that, so I might as well look into Where Are They Now for some of these projects and some of these people. There are series I miss more, some I miss less. I really miss Overgrowth Let's Plays, but unironically. But there's a lot of his new content that I do really enjoy. I really do love the documentaries. I really love the Save the Squirrels Initiative videos. And honestly, I think there's no real way for Idubbbz to go back to the old content. And it's not because of, YouTube would never let this content happen again, the world's so different now and all of that bullshit. It's mostly that when Idubbbz was doing Kickstarter craps initially, and when he was unboxing like pencils and toothbrushes, he was never punching down. He was always punching up, essentially. Occasionally there would be a project like the Cybermatrix and it would feel like he was punching down, but he wasn't really, not really, because he was still a very small channel. Sure, he was gaining popularity, but he was just still some dude making videos. And so, when he was doing stuff like criticizing the Coolest or the Zen Egg, he was punching up. He was criticizing people who were raking in millions, right? Now, if he went on to do more Kickstarter crap stuff, it would be someone who is very successful, very famous, very well known, basically going to town on the little guy, and that just wouldn't feel right. It's also sort of how I see Content Cop and how Content Cop evolved over time. Because consider at the start what the first Content Cop was. That was Jinx. What was Jinx's biggest sin? What was the worst thing he did? Well, he made shitty content, and that was basically it. And then gradually it was like the toy channels which preyed on children. Then it was the whole crazy crusading virtue signaling stuff with Tana Mongoose. And then it sort of culminated in Asian Jake Paul, where there was all this massive like list of issues and problems. So where do you go from there? And I think where he went from there was doing documentaries, more intimately getting to know, not necessarily always people you were like, that would need content cops. The Sam Hyde was the only of those, obviously, that really could have deserved a content cop. But I do really think that the way he did it with the documentary was far more interesting. And I think that's sort of the direction he's going to take further if he keeps going with YouTube at all. Honestly, I don't know. There's another creator clash coming, so maybe one day I'll get to be in a creator clash. So we'll see. I do like his new content, though. I do. Lastly, I wanted to share some fun insights I've gotten so far. For those of you not in the know, YouTube Studio lets you see what search terms people use to find your content. And for the most part, it's been, stuff you'd expect. Idubbbz, Lucic, Cybermatrix, Kickstarter, YouTube documentary shit. And then there's this one. I hate women. How does the YouTube algorithm know, though? Team Pisces Emissary Adventures, EO1, Path of the DSS. It has been 14 quintillion years of peace between me, the Ada, and the DSS, or the Afterlife Dimensional Association, and the Dark Shadow Syndicate. We don't know what started the war, but I'm willing to find out. Dimensional Realm, Jehovah's Holy Universe, Columns of the Holy Order, Jehovah's Stronghold L2, Conference Room 214. Isaiah Sakono, main character, Grandmaster of the Ministry of the Seas, Ultra Moorish idol, yes, I see. So we're at war with the DSS and it gets worse. Me and my homeworld is the target. Brilliant. Jehovah W. Christ, Grandmaster of the Ministry of Life, Christian Longtail Dragon. We only have one problem. They're hard to get rid of, and I do mean hard, like cockroaches in a chicken coop. Isaiah, oh great, now I'm going to need an exterminator, and fast. Jehovah, not a problem, I'll get one as soon as I can, savvy? Isaiah, understood, PA. EW Ultrafish Universe Golden Corral Estates, Isaiah's house 4F, Isaiah and Nemo's bedroom. Door opens, Isaiah swims in, door closes. Isaiah, hey Nemo, Nemo Sikono, Ultra Percula Clownfish. Hey bro, anything new? Isaiah, it was a one-on-one meeting with Jehovah, and he said we're at war with the DSS. Nemo, that's terrible, we need to do something about it. Isaiah, not a problem. DT, lock my bedroom at night, lock the foyer doors, and only when all of us has vacated the house or when we're asleep. Dimensional Traveler GX9000, aka DT, Grand Dolphin, Energy Pompano. Sure thing, Pisces. Done. Pisces and Nemo's house locks the foyer doors. Pisces and Nemo's house locks the foyer doors, utility room doors, and bedroom door. Pisces, got that taken care of. Activate defense turrets, and we're in bed. Nemo, right. Defense turrets are activated as well, as DT's defense voice. Time for bed. Pisces, you bet. Swims to bed, lays down. Nemo, swims to bed, lays down. Opening complete. Stage 1, defense at the... Jesus fucking... Stage 1, defense at the Emissary base. Pisces gets up, closes bed. What? Nemo, hey bro, I'm glad you woke. Something wrong? Pisces, yeah, a fence force is attacking my base. Killing my... DT, open portal to the main courtyard of the TPE, or Team Pisces Emissary. DTGD, porting now. Ports Pisces out. Entertainment, World Ocean, Universe, Ultrafish, Sub-Universe, Hinuka Fields, Team Pisces Emissary, main courtyard, parentheses, battlefield. Pisces, ports in. Marty McBride, Ultra Flame and Marty McBride, Ultra Flame Angelfish, Pisces, glad you could join us. Pisces, thanks. Who are the offenders? Marty, the DSS boarding crew. We must not let them get that disc. Go. Mission start. Pisces, understood, Marty. I'm on my way. If player loses, retry. If player survives, continue. Video game. TPE main base, utility hall, main computer room. Pisces swims in. Freeze, thief! Frank Mogia, dark sturgeon fish. Shit! What? It says shit. Fires 3 shots to Pisces. Pisces takes 1 hit on armor, takes cover, grabs disc from thief. Frank, what? Pisces returns disc in rightful place. Rally point Alpha. Frank, where are you, Ultra? Pisces, die. If player falls, retry. If player wins, continue. Pisces opens Ultra Distanta beam, fires. Frank hits, falls, fades. Team, what's the status over? Marty, everything is green up here. Pisces, I returned the disc. Everything is in order. It appears that the fossil of the thief that I killed was trying to take me down. Ha! It didn't work. Over and out. Clicks off. Swims to door. Door opens. Pisces swims out. Portal closes. TPE main base. Courtyard. Marty, Master Pisces, good to see you. Pisces, thanks, likewise. Marty, you're welcome, thank you. Pisces, the sun is going down. Guess I better go. Everyone's dismissed. Marty, Samson, Colin, Julio. Yes, sir, Pisces. Pisces ports out. Watatuka Fields, Gordon Corral Estates, Pisces House 4F, Pisces and Nemo's bedroom. Door opens, Pisces swims in, door closes. Nemo, hey bro, how'd it go? Pisces, it went fine. Nemo, awesome, I'll see you tomorrow. You're not gonna mention that you killed someone, come on, bruh. Pisces, okay, good night, bro. Nemo, you too, bro. Stage 1 complete. Stage 2, long day of war. Oh my god. I need this book.